Hi, this is Jeff Lovett. I'm here with my friend Paul Blough. We're going to talk about something I know you're very interested in, even if you're not a business owner, someone that maybe has lots of computers, and you might have seen this or heard of it. It's called CryptoLocker. And Paul, this is a very scary thing. CryptoLocker is kind of a virus that can get on your computer, and it will, in essence, lock you out of your computer until you pay money. So tell us a little bit about what CryptoLocker is.
So CryptoLocker is probably one of the more scary threats that is out right now, and it is part of a group of threats called ransomware. What ransomware really is all about is the idea that somebody is going to infect your computer and then lock it down with encryption so that all your files are scrambled and they are the only ones with the key. And you say, well, I'll just hire somebody like BloughTech to come in and unencrypt it. Well, they use high-end, heavy encryption, so that's not going to happen. If your files get encrypted by CryptoLocker, there's really only two solutions. One is pay the ransom, and that's a very risky proposition because they only let you pay it through Bitcoin. You transfer it directly to them, they get their money. Maybe they give you the code to get your files. Maybe they just send you another request and ask for twice as much money. And we've seen that situation absolutely happen where somebody paid the ransom before they came to us, and then they immediately were asked for twice as much money, and it would have kept going up until finally they said no. So the second option that you have, though, is to restore your files before they were encrypted. And maybe really there's a third option which is even better than both of those, and that's to prevent the problem from happening at all.
All right, well, it sounds pretty scary to me, and I've actually seen this. In fact, one of my son a couple of years ago actually had this on his computer, and luckily we had a backup and we could get it all back. But I mean, it really is one of these things that if you get this on your computer, there's really no way to fix it, right?
That's correct. There is no way to fix it without going in and either paying the ransom or restoring the files to a state before it was done. You're not going to be able to hire a computer whiz kid to come in there and decrypt this stuff. It's just, you have to understand just a little bit about encryption, and the way that it works is it takes and scrambles everything up using what's called a hashtag or a key, and that key could be 20 or 40 characters, and it's just, you would have to have an army of supercomputers to be able to actually try to figure out what that key is, and a lot of time, and it just doesn't work.
And we're probably going to see a lot more of this because more and more people are getting access to your computer, your email address.
Right.
Just this past week, there was a big hack through one of the Blue Cross Blue Shield companies. They got 11 million copies of people's social security numbers and email addresses. So
financial records.
These kind of things will start popping up even more as we go forward. So what can we do right now? First, let's talk about prevention. How can I keep people from doing this, even if they get a hold of my sensitive information? How do I keep them out?
All right, so the key piece to preventing CryptoLocker is to really understand how it can be introduced into your system to start with. And CryptoLocker almost always is going to come in this form of an email that's sent to you with an executable file that they're going to try to trick you into clicking on. Now, that'll take several different forms. One form is that they'll actually put an executable. So in a Windows PC, that would be a .exe, a .com, or something along that nature, that they're going to tell you need to click on this to be able to get whatever it is that they're trying to entice you to do. Sometimes because a lot of web software, security software we use, for instance, doesn't even allow those file types in, we will actually strip them out of any emails, and we do it all day long. I could show you a whole list of, just from today, of emails where it never even got to our clients, where we've stripped out these attacks. But what they're doing now is they're putting it into a zip file, which is an encryption file, and then they're giving you a key and telling you to go in here into the zip file, type in this key, and then the social engineering is amazing that they can get people to do all these steps. And we can't, and no one really can unless we block all zip files. No one's going to be able to go in there and see that that's an infected email. So education's the key piece here. So with education, you need to basically be suspicious of any email that you get. If the IRS sends you an email saying you must click on this or we're going to take your house away, that's not from the IRS. If the bank says click here immediately or and run this program, or we're going to give all your money away to Nigeria, that's not real. And they're going to be very subtle variations on that. And the more, like Jeff has been talking about, the more information they get about you and about your organization, the more likely it is that you're going to fall prey to this attack. And this type of attack is called a phishing attack, where they try to pretend to be somebody who they really aren't, the government, your security company, whatever it may be. So I guess what I'm telling you is be very, very suspicious. If you're not sure, ask. Don't do anything that you're told with an email without calling somebody on the phone. Call your local IT company, call your office manager, talk with somebody to get a second opinion before you just randomly click on something. They'll even now sometimes embed things in links inside of the email so that they try to click there, go to a website to see, hopefully maybe you don't have the web security up to where it needs to be to allow a download to happen. So really it's use caution and educate yourself. That's the best prevention.
And I've noticed lately that I'm getting a lot of emails that say you've got a fax,
right?
Or you've got a package through Canadian post right. office, or your FedEx package is ready to be picked up, and those are very luring. People click on those because they like somebody sent me something. So avoid anything that you don't know. If you don't recognize who it's from or if it looks suspicious, do not open it. The second thing is to be prepared in case something like that does happen, because every now and then we'll get an email that looks very legitimate and we will open it by mistake and then we're sunk. So what do we do to make sure that if we do fall victim to this, we can get all our stuff back?
Right, so again, education's the primary focus on trying to prevent this problem from happening, but as Jeff just said, many times even with education, you're still going to fall prey to this because they can be really, really convincing. So there are a couple things that you should do. First off, number one, you need to be working with either a security company or have some security software in place that analyzes your email, analyzes your web content to try to block as much of this as possible. As I've already kind of mentioned, one of the things we do for our clients is to strip out as much of this as possible. In fact, we're so far, since all of this has begun, we've not had any client ever get infected with any of the crypto variants. So CryptoWall, CryptoLocker, there's a lot of different ones out there. In fact, there's a new one that just came out that is particularly designed to attack home users and particularly game players. So somebody who's spent 100 hours playing World of Warcraft and has a level 99 barbarian or whatever that they just live and breathe for. This is the thing that's most important to them. This particular form of crypto attack goes after those files, encrypts those files with the idea that maybe you'll pay $500 or $600 to get that file back. So what you can do, number one, education. Number two is trying to make sure that you've got security in place. Probably going to have somebody help you with that. But number three is back up everything. Because if you have a backup, you can restore back to before this happened. And that's the most important thing that all of us can very easily do. Lots of easy ways to back up your system. You need to make sure that you're doing it every day.
And Paul knows that I had a problem with my computer in my office at home where I thought it was being backed up and it wasn't. So as part of the backup plan, you need to have the backup verified.
Correct.
Just don't assume that if you click on the thing on your computer that says make a backup now, that actually is happening.
Right. So what a verified backup is a couple of things. First of all, you're going in there and you're seeing that the backup is physically on that device, but that's still not verified. You have to actually know that you can restore the file back, because we've seen situations where software or people thought that they were doing backups. You could look and you could see a backup, but when you actually try to do the restore, the information was scrambled or the information was not right. So you need to test your backups. We recommend at least on a monthly basis, just testing a single file. In fact, a lot of people just have a test file and they'll delete that file off their computer, go to their backup, just restore that one file, and that's a good indicator that you've got a good stable backup. Most backup software will also do a self-verification. And what that allows you to do is to, after immediately the backup's been run, the software will run through, look at the restore, and try to make sure that every file can be recovered from it.
All right, so here's what you need to know about CryptoLocker. Number one, don't open up any email that you don't recognize, especially ones that look suspicious.
Absolutely.
Number two, make sure that you have some kind of software program or IT support that identifies those things and gets rid of them before you even see them.
Absolutely.
All right, and number three, have a verifiable backup. If you don't have a backup, then you're really sunk. I mean, with mine, I didn't have a backup of 500 gigabytes of data, and it's gone forever. I'll never get that back. If I had a backup, I could have gone right back to where I was.
Absolutely. Could have restored it and it would have been there.
All right, so don't let that happen to you. Make sure that you get a backup and you get it verified. Now, you can learn more about CryptoLocker. Just click on the link on top of this video, and it'll take you to a lot more information about what to do to prevent CryptoLocker, and even what to do if you happen to fall prey to this particular thing. Hey, thanks for watching, and of course, you can always get more information at BloughTech.com.